Tonight, Bhaktas, it is said Lord Hanumanji is hungry. The mother says, Jao son, you go, you eat how much you want. Only you know the journey that you have to go back to. So Mahavira Swami bids his farewell and he touches the feet of the mother. He bows and he's about to leave. He goes into the Vatika and he's searching for fruits everywhere. He's remembering where he saw fruits. And when he goes there with the intention in his mind, I want to leave back a message for Ravana. So he goes into the Vatika. He starts to climb up trees. He starts to pull down fruits. He comes back down another one. He sees more fruits at the top. He says, you know what? I'm not going to waste my time climbing and climbing. He roots out the trees one by one and he throws them on the ground. And he will jump on them and he will grab and he will bite. And if it's not sweet, he will throw it out. He will grab another one. And with the Vanararu, he partakes of the fruits as much as he wants. And he's eating his tummy filled. But Bhaktas, it is said some of the guards were not too far away. And they were noticing something. They were realizing that trees were falling down. They were realizing that there's a monkey in the Vatika. Where has this monkey come from? Nobody knows where he came from. But he's there and he's partaking of the fruits. And while some of the guards will try to stop him, nobody is a match for Bajranga Bali. Pauna Sudha Hanuman ki! Are we a match for God? Can we stand up to God? Do you think we are man enough to stand up to God? In a fit of rage, in a moment of anger, we look and we say, oh God. And we throw out a tantrum as though if we yell at God, things are going to work out for us. Sometimes we stand before the Murti, we stand before the altar, we look at the picture, and we start demanding now, God, here's what, I'm praying to you every day. It's about time you do something. Are you strong enough, man enough to stand up against God and command Him? Devotees, we are the humble spark of perfection. We are the humble spark of divinity. It is like the ripple coming from the ocean and then looking at the wave and say, if you name man, you come. Think about it. It is like the ripple, that little bubble that simply floats away and is looking at the wave and saying, I am bigger than you. We are simple. We are humble bhaktas. We are divine beings. But due to the maya and the illusion of the world, we forget who we really are. Be simple, my friends, for simplicity is the only way to be successful. Simplicity is the way for success. Simplicity is the way to achieve any goal, to receive a perfect outcome. As we continue to our katha, Lord Hanumanji, guards are coming to stop him, but he wants to leave a message, so he will try now destroying anybody who would come in his path. Ravana hears news of this. Ravana hears there's a monkey in Vatika, a monkey in Lanka. Where could he come from? He sends his son. One of his sons is called Akshay Kumar. And he sends his son. He says, Putra, go and put an end to the life of that monkey. And Akshay Kumar, he drags his sword and he marches towards the Vatika. He goes into the field where the fruits and the flowers are. And he says, Vanar, jao yase. But Mahavira looked at him and he continues to eat as usual. He's not scared of anyone. He continues to partake. And at that moment, when Mahavira Swami sees Akshay Kumar coming, Akshay walks up to him and he takes his sword and he tries to hit Bajranga Bali. But when he raises the sword in the air, Mahavir lifts a tree and he hits him far away. Akshay Kumar, he is thrown to a distance. And when he's thrown to the distance, Mahavir Swami has no intention of destroying anybody's life. He only wants to send a message. But with the blow that he receives, Akshay Kumar falls to the ground and he cannot move. Bajranga Bali, he looks at him and he's not breathing. Hare, well, Jai Shri Ram. You do not try to harm a devotee of God. There's no good in that. You do not try to hurt a devotee of God. No good comes out of that. You cannot expect to do all the good in the world, but when you see bhaktas or devotees who pray to the same master that we do, we ridicule them, we laugh at them, we put them down, we say things about them. It bears no fruit and is no good, my friends. When we speak ill of others, always speak good of people. Always try to motivate people. Always try to help someone with a good word. It benefits you nothing by putting down people. Instead of looking at somebody and saying, look at how we have that now, better you fix it this way. It is better you go to him and say, hey, why didn't you fix it that way? It benefits you more to uplift people, motivate people and say something good rather than demote somebody. It could be in your home. It could be an argument about food. It could be an argument about a piece of clothes. It can be an argument about a shoe. It can be an argument about a ring or a watch or something simple. The way you speak to people, the way we communicate with people tells who we are. The way we respond to a situation, the way we respond to when people speak to us, it can tell a lot about us. Our nature, our quality, our character. Today, Bhaktas, Lord Hanumanji, he's partaking of the fruits and he has killed Akshay Kumar and the news is about to reach Ravana. Ravana, he doesn't know what he will do. But the news has reached Ravana. Ravana hears that his son has died in a battle with a monkey. Jai Narayan. He doesn't know who Mahavir is, but he has heard that his son has got in a battle with a Banar and he's destroyed. Ravana is hurt, he's enraged, he's angry. And in anger, he goes to his other son, Meghnad. Your brother has been killed by a Vanar, some wild monkey in the forest. Can you please go? But I don't want you to kill him. I want to see who killed my son. Tie him and bring him if you must. And Meghnad goes, my friends. But when he goes, he's preparing himself. He will take his bow. He will take his arrows. He will sit on his horse. And he will go towards the Vatika. And while he's going to the spot in which Mahavir Swami is, he wants to see who is the strong monkey, who is the strong bandar who has destroyed his brother. And when he goes there, he sees this monkey eating away, rooting out trees, throwing them from side to side, showing the world his strength. And he's enjoying by the name of the Lord. महावीर बन के रणधीर बन के चले आना प्रभु जी चले आना महावीर बन के रणधीर बन के चले आना बजरंगी चले आना चले आना बजरंगी चले आना जय श्री राम हरि तुम बाल में रूप में आना हाथ लेके लली साथ लेके चले आना बजरंगी चले आना क्या बात एवरीबॉडी बोले ऑल ग्लोरीज टू हनुमान जी बोले तुम रुद्र रूप में आना तुम रूप रूम में आना तुम रुद्र रूप में आना मेवा हाथ लेके सेवा साथ लेके चले आना बजरंगी चले आना जय श्री राम जय बजरंगी तुम कपि रूप में आना तुम कपि रूप में आना ध्वजा हाथ लेके सेना साथ लेके चले आना प्रभु जी चले आना महावीर बन के रणधीर बन के चले आना बजरंगी In our message, my friends, Hanumanji sees Meghnad in front of him. But Mahavir is not studying anybody. The Lord has given him fruits. The mother has blessed him to eat. And when your mother blesses you, you don't need to worry about anything in the world. A mother's blessing is most important. He continues to eat. Meghnad looks at him and he shouts out, "Are Kapi!" He says, "Stop right there. Stop destroying the garden. Who are you? Come out of there, otherwise I will destroy you." And Mahavir Swami, he pays no attention to Meghnad. He continues to eat. He continues to break the trees. And Meghnad decides that it is time that he must then now try to destroy this monkey. So he takes out arrows and he would aim and he will try hitting at Bajrangabali. But every arrow that will come, he will pick up a tree, and as though he will bat it away, he will hit it in every direction. Such is the power of our Lord. बजरंगी चले आना, चले आना, बजरंगी चले आना, चले आना, बजरंगी चले आना, चले आना, बजरंगी चले। तुम बल रूप में आना। All see it? Bal Buddhi Vidya. He's Lord of Ayasam too is just the Gurda. Bal Buddhi Vidya, strength, power, virtue, wisdom. Mahavir, my friends, is that divine personified form of strength. Nothing is in comparison to him. Bajrangabali, that perfect bhakta, he sits at the feet of Sri Ram, always ready to serve his Lord. Today, Hanumanji, he's standing in front of Meghnad. Meghnad is shooting arrows upon arrows, and he will simply pick up a tree and he will hit it off as though it's nothing. But then Meghnad now, he says, "Oh, so this monkey is too strong for me." He takes out an arrow. This arrow is no ordinary arrow. Meghnad was given a blessing that whichever arrow he takes and he says a mantra upon it, Lord Brahmadev will sit on that arrow. And he will transform that arrow into serpents. And serpents will bind the enemy in front of him. So Meghnad pulls it out. He places it on his bow. And he chants his mantra. And when he says his prayer, it is said, Brahmadev's energy resides at the tip of the arrow. And the arrow in itself, although it looks like the arrow, releasing at that point, it will seem to be serpents. Mahavir Swami picked up another tree, and when he picked up another tree ready to hit, the arrow was released, and instead of seeing an arrow coming his way, he then saw two snakes in front of him. And the two snakes, my friends, it is said on their backs, residing Brahmadev, he says, "How can I disrespect the elder?" He looks into the eyes, he puts his hands together, and he pays his pranams. हे विष्णु को सैया पे सुनाने वाले, नाग देवता त्राहि मां, पाहि मां, नाग देवता त्राहि मां, पाहि मां. Two snakes are coming towards him, and they're about to wrap him up. While they're coming, let me ask you, if two snakes coming towards you, what will you do? What will you do? You'll bhag. Not a bhag, you know. Bhag means run for your life. What will you do if you see snakes coming towards you? It is at this moment, dear bhaktas, when our Lord tells us, according to the scripture, Mahavir is seeing snakes coming his way. He's seeing Brahmadev sitting on top. And for the creator of the entire cosmos, he puts his hands together. He closes his eyes and he says, "Brahmadev, as an elder, I pay my respects. Hanumanji is the Lord of strength. But when he sees Brahmadev, he humbles himself. A child must always humble himself or herself when standing in front of the elders. We must never answer them back. We must never yell back at them. We must never ridicule them. We must never laugh at them. We must never hurt them in any way, in any form, knowingly or unknowingly. But we must always be humble no matter what the situation is. A child humble at the feet in the presence of mother, father, elders, preceptor will always see success in life. Learn from the examples of Lord Hanumanji. It is not just his form. It is not just his might. It is not just about his power. But it is a characteristic that he's living by. It is by the role that he's living by. Humility and respect. Today, Hanumanji is mighty, but he put his hands together. And the arrows approach him, and these two serpents, they just start surrounding him. And while they were surrounding him from head to toe, going down, Mahavir Swami stops there and he says, I have a plan. I will become caught today because of my respect. He purposely in his mind could have done anything, but he decides to humble himself and he becomes caught. And when he's caught, Meghnad, he laughs. He says, look at you. Where is your strength now? You were so strong a few moments ago. How strong are you now? Meghnad walks up to him and he holds him and he pulls him by the shoulder. And Mahavir Swami, he's holding on to his gada. He's, my friends, he's tied by the serpents and he's walking. And while he's walking, they are walking him through the village because everybody wants to see who was the monkey who was breaking up the village. Who was the monkey destroying the Vatika? Who was the monkey mashing up the flowers? Who was the monkey eating the fruits? And while he's walking, people are taking rocks and they are pelting at him. That Bandar, get him out of here. That Vanar, kill him. Destroy him. And they are shouting at him. And anything they could find, they are pelting at him. And Mahaviri looks at them and he says, look at these fools. Look at these fools. I can assume a big form and in one sweep with my gada, Jai Narayan, I could have wiped them out. But look at them with a rock in their hands. They don't know that even though you hold a rock, if you pelt that rock, the said rock could smash into pieces. But if I hit you, Jai Narayan, Jai Bajrangabali. He's walking and he's now seeing all these stones that are throwing. It's hitting on him on the shoulders. It's hitting on the head, on the back. But he's walking. Jai Shri Ram. Lord, help me to control myself today. By your form, help me to calm myself. When you get in a rage, what do? No, that is fire. When you get in a rage, what do? Nobody can hold you down. Some of us, when we get in a rage, we feel like 10 lions one time. When we get in a rage, who can ever calm us down? We feel as though we can destroy the world. But friends, Mahavir Swami, he's about to enter the wonderful palace of Lanka. And when he enters, he's looking. He's bound, he's tied, but he's looking, wow, look at how you live. Look at what you have. Look at how much you have accomplished in your life. Look at the strength and the gifts that God has given to you. But yet you're thieving another man's wife. But yet you're stealing Sita Devi. You have so much in front of you, and yet you're bothered about the world. He's admiring so many things that is there. And he's still thinking, why can't you appreciate what you have? Devotees, why can't you and me appreciate what we have? We have a nice house to go back to. However it may be, we have shelter. We have food to eat. We have clothes to wear. We have a footwear. We don't have to walk barefooted like Sri Ram in the forest. We have so much. We can still buy something to eat. We can still drink something. And at the end of the day, why are we still miserable? Why are we still fighting people for what they have? Why are we still looking at what other people have? Aren't you happy with what you have? Aren't you satisfied that at least you have? Why don't you go to the documentaries sometimes and look at the world and see how many people they can't even survive anymore? Why can't you look at the world and see how many people are begging for food to eat? How many people, they are begging for food to eat, something to drink, a piece of clothing, somewhere just to sleep. Recently in the world, with all the havoc, the volcano has erupted. How many people are searching for a place to simply shelter themselves? There are people everywhere searching for something to eat, to wear, for shelter. Why can't we appreciate what we have? Ravana, he's sitting on his throne. And Hanumanji enters and he says, wow, look at this. Hare, you have this. My Lord is walking barefoot in the forest without shelter. And you come to steal his dulahit? Look at what you have servants at your command. And when he enters and he's walking in, everybody stood. You know why? Everybody stood. All the ministers of the kingdom of Lanka stood because they wanted to see the bandar. They wanted to see the monkey. And when he saw them, he felt nice. They stand for me, boy. He felt nice. Wow, what a grand entrance. I'm entering this palace and everybody has stood for me. And he raised his head and he kept walking in. That is how you treat a devotee of God. He enters in the name of the Lord. But when he enters and he walks in a little way, he sees Ravana. Ravana sees him and he looks at him and he watches him. He looks at him up and down. And he starts to laugh. Hare, where has he come from? Is this the one who has destroyed my son? Is this the one who has destroyed the Vatika? This little bandar, this foolish bandar? I can behead you right now, foolish monkey. I can destroy you right now, foolish one. And Lord Hanumanji looks at him and he says, you can destroy me? He's bound in his hands, he's bound. And he says, while I'm tired, I dare you to come. Ravana, I dare you to come and try to destroy me. Don't you know who I am? Ravana says, who are you? Where you've come from? Who has given you the right to destroy my Vatika? And Hanumanji, while standing there, he waits. Ravana gets up in a rage and he drags his sword and he walks down to Mahavir Swami and he then raises it in the air. My Lankesh, who? I am Ravana. You're in my palace. Do not speak to me like that, Father. Monkey, do not speak to me like that. I can behead you right now. As a matter of fact, ministers, why don't you destroy this Vanar? And Hanumanji looks and he says, Ravana, is that any way to talk to a guest in your palace? Is that any way to treat someone who walks in your place? Devotees, he is bound. And he says, Ravana, I will show you one of my strengths. And when you see the power of this Bajranga Bali, think about the power of my Lord. He has now himself, his hands are bound together. His gada held within himself. And he's bound by the serpents. And there he looks up into the ceiling. He looks up in the air. And he says, Prabhu, this is the time where you help me. It is said the thunder started to roar above in the skies. Because the Lord, the Devatas, they're prepared to help Mahaviri Swami at what cost? Do you know what is about to happen? The clouds will start moving away in the skies. And while the clouds will move away in the skies, suddenly you will see the wings of a huge bird. The wings of a huge bird is about to now pass through the clouds. He's about to now break entry into the earth. And as he will break entry through the earth, he will sweep into the kingdom. He will sweep into the palace. He will sweep into the hall. And in a circle above all the ministers, above Ravana in the air, a huge bird is circling. He has come from above. He is the Rahana. He is the vehicle of Lord Vishnu Bhagavan. He is the vehicle of the Lord of the universe, the preserver. He is Garuda. And he has come down now. There are serpents. And serpents are scared of the birds. And he comes on and he pecks immediately with one peck at the serpent. And he will try to destroy them. And as Lord Vishnu looks from above, holy, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Naradaaya Namaha. Om Shri Garudaya Namaha. One of the 5 faces of Panchmukhi Hanumanji. His companion, his friend, part of his energy, Garuda, from the sky at the speed of wind, he flies down and there he pecks at the serpents surrounding Mahavir Swami. And as soon as the serpents have felt the peck of the bird, they simply start drawing down like rope falling from the body of Mahavir, and it falls to the ground lifeless. And there now he stretches his arms. Jai Bajrangabali! Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Pawana Sudha Hanuman ki jai, Bajrangabali ki. Mahavir Swami, he stretches his arms and he says, Jai Shri Ram. Now I'm in front of you. Ravana, speak. Ravana, speak. Where is your sword? And he holds his gada and he throws it on his shoulder. Ravana, I am a guest in your place. Is this how you will treat me? When we are hosting prayer, yajna, satsang, a puja, in any auspicious moment, when the guest enters your place, you treat them nice. When the guest enters the arena, when the guest enters your home, the mandir, we show them gratitude and divine love, godly love. We treat them as though God would have entered in our place. Mahavir Swami, Ravana, have you no shame? You're a king. I am a little monkey according to you. And I have entered your place. And you're sitting on this big throne. You're sitting on a big singhasan. And you won't even offer me a seat, Ravana. Shame on you. But anyhow, thank God, my Lord has blessed me with my manners. Jai Shri Ram. And as he says, Jai Shri Ram, his tail, it grows and it starts now coil in the ground. And it starts to coil. Ravana is looking. Are what's going on there? Ministers are looking. The tail is coiling and it's getting huge. It is getting taller and taller. He's creating his own arsenal. He's creating his own seat. And while he will create his seat, he looks up at the seat now, high above. And there, Jai Shri Ram. And he makes a jump and he sits above. It is said higher than the singhasan of Ravana. He sits down and he looks down. Hare, speak now. Can you hear me? Ravana becomes agitated. He's angry. But while he's about to speak, Hanumanji cuts him across. Hanumanji says, Ravana, I'll give you one chance. I'll give you one more chance. You're living happy right now. You have everything. You're living comfortable. You have everybody around you. You have food, shelter. You have an army. You have everything at your disposal. Ravana, please hand over Sita Devi. Ravana, why are you doing this? Ravana, you can continue your life and you can live successfully, but hand over Sita Mata today. Hand over the Devi to Sri Ramachandra. Ravana looks at him and he says, you foolish monkey, want to lecture me? In my kingdom, in my place? How many people are open to corrections? Not many people, right? How many people are open for corrections? How many people are open-minded for criticism, constructive criticism? How many people are open-minded for somebody to walk up to you and say, hey, hear this now. You see what you do yesterday? Well, you know, you should have done it like this. It really wasn't nice. How many people are open-minded to now say, okay, here's what, you know what, I really didn't think about it this way. I will change my ways. And how many people cannot accept it? So in turn, they will say, all right, no problem. And they will turn away and they will walk. And the next time they see you, see he? Shame on he. Imagine he come to tell me that. The world has become different. There's no more brotherly love. There's no more sisterly love. There's no more union even in a home. Imagine in a home today there's fight for little things. I remember growing up, myself and my sisters. And if you get up and you go and you open your fridge and you see somebody have a little penakul, but that's what we have, right? You see somebody have a little penakul and you open the door and you see it and there's one penakul and there's 3 of us. Well, I didn't put it there. I don't know who put it there. But you know what? I feel in for that. And I will take it. In the end, somebody might come and open the door and say, somebody take my penakul? Yeah, I eat it. All right. Today, in one house, you open the fridge door and you take out somebody's juice and see what's going to happen. Different times. In today's world, especially when it comes to in-laws, the home with the in-laws, why do we have to fight? Why do we have to fight amongst ourselves for petty things and break up in the end? That was mine. He should have never taken it. He didn't put it there. Why did he touch it for? She never put that there. Why did she touch it? Why didn't she ask me? Why didn't he say something? Well, they saw me in the kitchen and they decided to come too. Why didn't they wait? Well, he did this and then he came. Why do we fight for the pettiest things in the world? Is life meant to be like this? Is life meant to be miserable? Or is it meant to simply cast away the things that are creating problems and live in harmony with one another? Ravana, give back Sita Devi. Ravana, I plead, I beg you, please give back the mother. And when Ravana hears now the words of this Vanar, he says, listen, you stop right there. He says, Bandar, chup raho, stop right there. Say nothing. Come down here and you tell me. At this time, Hanumanji says, Ravana, you won't listen? Ravana, one more chance I'm giving you. Won't you listen? And Mahavira Swami says, I'll try to calm myself down. Shri Ram kahe Hanumana, suno vachana kaho paramana. Suno vachana kaho paramana. Shri Ram kahi Hanumana. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. He jumps down. He says, listen to my words. I am speaking good to you. Ravana, you could have done all the negative things in the world, but today, you know what? As a devotee of God, I'm telling you something to help your life today. Just listen to me. And I promise you, just give in. Just surrender to the Lord. Just give up all your ways and turn to Prabhu Ramachandra. And I give you my word that you will never let anything wrong happen to you. Even I will protect you, Ravana. And Ravana listens to him and he never pays heed. So Mahavira Swami, he continues. Shri Ram kahi Hanumana, suno vachana kaho paramana. Suno vachana kaho paramana. Shri Ram kahi Hanumana. Kya baat? Tum Sita kavar sunaye, mere man ki shok mitao. Friends, he thinks of Sita Devi Mata. And when he thinks of her, in his mind he's praying that the Ravana could change. When will we sit down sometimes and realize what we are doing in life and decide on our own, you know what? I think it is time that I change. Aren't we old enough to be making the same mistakes again and again? Aren't we old enough to be getting into the same problems over and over? Why can't we sit down and start making changes? Tum Sita kavar sunaye, mere man ki shok mitayo. De aaj aar nidana, suno vachana kaho paramana. Suno vachana kaho paramana. Shri Ram kahi Hanumana. Java. Jai Bajrangbali. So Hanumanji, he says one more time I will tell you. I've crossed from so far. Prabhu Ramachandra, he is all compassionate. He will be willing to give you anything that you want. But humble yourself. Sagar mein Sita banaya, सब लक्ष्य कर पाल लगाया। सागर में सीत बनाया, सब लक्ष्य कर पार लगाया। किया लंकापुरी में आना, किया लंकापुरी में आना। सुनो वचन कहो परमाना, सुनो वचन कहो परमाना। श्री राम कहे हनुमाना। जय श्री राम। वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की। Ravana, one more chance. I do not want to cause problems. One more chance. And when he says one more chance, Ravana raises his sword and he says, Arey, don't let me destroy you here. But when he raises his sword, automatically from the crowd, Vibhishan was there. And Vibhishan got up and he ran towards Ravana and he held him by the hand and he says, Bhai, how can you destroy the messenger? Hanumanji, he says, Ravana, you raise a sword for a monkey? You raise a sword for me? Have you no shame? Have you no shame on your ancestors? Have you no shame on your lineage? Devotees, how you live your life, it reflects on your ancestors. It reflects on your lineage. It reflects on your mother, your father. We've always told the people of the world, sometimes you see a child walking, and you say, look at him. He walked like his grandfather. Look at how she speaks. She speaks like her grandmother. We look at the traits that have come from the ancestors and we say, look at them. They've inherited energies and blessings and characteristics of the elders. Ravana, have you no shame on your lineage? Have you no shame? Surrender yourself, Ravana. But Ravana is of the negative mentality, the mentality of Rakshasa. He says, I will behead you. And when Vibhishan holds his hand, he looks at Vibhishan and he says, let go of my hands. And Vibhishan puts his hands together and he says, Bhai, maybe you can send a message, but don't destroy the messenger. Ravana says, oh, so you want to pick up for him? So you want me to send a message? Vibhishan, go sit. Ministers, come. This is the message that I want you to send. I want you to destroy, I want you to beat this monkey as much as you can. As a matter of fact, I will send him back so his Lord Sri Ram will see the strength of Ravana today. His Lord, who he called Sri Ram, will see what is taking place today. And he calls them and he says, here's what. This is what I want you to do. Very dear to a monkey is his tail. A monkey loves his tail. He wants to coil a tail and show me he could sit down higher than me. Here's what to do. I want you to get ghee. I want you to get oil. He says, Hey Ravana, मैं हाथ जोड़कर तुमसे विनती करूं, तुम अहंकार त्याग कर. You have too much ego, Ravana. शांत हो जाए ना. The ego is like thorns. It's thorns, my friends, burning through your heart. Why can't you be simple? Why can't you be humble? त्याग कर, मुझे सिखावन सुनो. He says, listen to me, हनुमान जी. तू अपने कुल कर विचार कर देखो और ब्रह्म को जकार. भक्तों के भाग हरने वाले हैं. भजन करो ना. Ravana, instead of getting angry, sing a song for me now. Imagine Ravana in a rage. He ready to destroy Hanumanji and he says, Are, take that anger and sing a song for me now. When you get vexed, you must sit down and sing a song. Whenever you become angry and you don't know what to do, sit down and just start to sing. Remember me. And sing a bhajan. Gananata Gajavadana Gananata Dinavadana. नगर में कपर घी और तिल नहीं बच गया. Ravana says, you stay quiet, Vanar. He sends the ministers. Go to the village, hold him down. Bring oil, bring ghee, bring cloth, bring cotton and tie his tail with it. Let's light his tail of fire. And he's about to now bring the ghee and the oil. They're starting to wrap the tail of Mahavir. They're starting to wrap the tail of Bajrangabali. And Mahavir looking back and he's seeing his tail. And when they think they've wrapped just enough, Jai Shri Ram, the tail starts to grow and he's wrapping again. And it's growing again and they're wrapping again. And it's growing. And while it's growing with the length, my friends, that they can't measure, they realize that they're running out of cloth. They're running out of cotton. They're running out of ghee. Ravana says, tell all the women, send their saris, send their shawls, whatever they have to send. We will tie the tail of this bandar and we will send a message back to that Lord that he calls Ram Prabhu. हनुमान जी ने ऐसे खेल किया कि पूछ भर गया, नगर वासी कौतुक देखने अपाया है, वे हनुमान जी को अपने पैर को तोकर मारते हैं. He says, Ravana, you want to light my tail with fire? I came quietly. I came humble, tied by serpents. I stood in front of you. I tried to speak to you. I tried to reason with you. I tell you, sing a song. I told you, send back Sita Devi. But now, you want to light me a fire? You're testing my patience now. In a kahani goes like this. It is said one day, there was a guru of the village. And in the village, there was a snake. And the snake wanted to get christened. Not in this village, that's why I know about that. The snake wanted to get christened. But when the snake went by the guru says to him, I don't want to christen somebody like you. You know why? Because you just go everywhere and you will sting everybody, you will bite everybody, you will poison everybody, you will destroy people. I don't want a bad godchild. You must change your life, and if you change your life, I will christen you. So the snake said, no problem. Give me 1 week, Gurudev. So he decides to go back into the village. Normally when anybody sees the snake, they go on because they know they're going to get bite. This time for 1 week, the snake went in a corner by himself and he sits there. People are passing and they cross the road. Snake do nothing. They realize, hey, how come he didn't do anything? They're passing now, they pass a little closer. The snake is just looking and smiling. They pass a little closer again, snake smiling. Suddenly now, one of the guys walked, take a rock, and he, Jai Bhagwan. He felt at the snake. The snake got hit in his head. He can't hold it. But he gets hit. Another person passed and said, but wait now, the snake didn't do anything. A next person take a rock and he pelted. A third take another one and he pelted. A fourth, and before you know it, everybody pelted the snake because he was accustomed biting everybody. The guru was passing by the end of the week and he saw the snake in the corner by the wall, and the snake is now beaten out and he's there and he's bleeding. Gurudev. He says, hey, what happened to you? Well, you told me not to bite anybody. So I stayed there for 1 week. I stayed right here. And when they realized I wasn't biting anybody, they started to pelt me. He said, you're so foolish. I told you not to bite anybody. But in a situation when you are provoked, stand up for yourself. Don't just take the beating. Don't just be beaten right there. I told you don't bite anybody. You stood there and you never went and you didn't bite anyone. But when they came to provoke you, put a stop to it. Hanumanji says, let me tell you something, Ravana. I spoke to you nice. I spoke softly to you. I treated you well, despite everything you did. But at this time, I will tell you now that you haven't done justice to me. At this time, you want to light a fire at my tail? Do you know who resides on my tail? Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalani Durga Kshama Shivaratri Swaha Swadha Namostute. Om Dum Durgaya Namaha. Om Dum Durgaya Namaha. Om Dum Durgaya Namaha. Om Shri Bhadrakali Devi Mataya Namaha. You have awakened the spark of the Divine Devi. I dare you now to light that spark. Ravana couldn't listen to him. Ravana says, light it. He's a foolish bandar. And as soon as the fire ignites, he smiles and he says, Devi Mata, this is why you wanted to come to the earth, to show the world who you are when you're next to me. Well, Ma, this is your chance. Bajrangabali ki! There and then, the tail starts to flame. It starts to consume the ghee. It starts to consume the oil. And while it's now about to blaze, Hanumanji, he says, you've provoked me much today. And while you've provoked me, now look at what will happen. Ram Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram Siya Ram. 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 Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Siya Ram, Ram Siya Ram, Jai Jai. Do you know what? His tail is caught afire. He says, Ravana, one more chance. Ravana laughs and he says, you can't teach me a lesson. He says, well, you know what? This is what you've caused. Jai Shri Ram! And he starts to grow to the size that he would normally grow. And he's becoming tall. And his tail is long and lit with fire. And he holds on to his gada and he says, you've caused this. He says in his mind, Om Shri Sita Devi Namaha. Ma, you may be far away from here, but look at what your devotee can do. Ram Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram Siya Ram. 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 बजरंगी बाल के सागर हो, गुरजान पुत्र के आगर हो। बजरंगी बाल के सागर हो, गुरजान पुत्र के आगर हो। लंका जाकर सीता जी की स्तुति लेने वाले राम के भक्त निराले। Ram Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram Siya Ram. Ram Siya Ram, Jai Jai. Mahavir Swami, he stands above Lanka and he looks down and he starts now to jump from one spot to the other. He says, today, for the first time, I will let my rage go out of control. Lord Prabhu Ram, you will have to forgive me today. But today, I've been provoked in your name. I've been provoked by Ravana in the name of Sita Devi, in the name of Prabhu Shri Ram. You do not mess with the devotee of the Lord. Today, I will show the world the wrath, the anger of a devotee. And he started to light the buildings of Lanka. He started to light from house to house, from kutia to kutia. Every spot that he saw that was empty, he will set it aflame. The devotees, the people, the Rakshasas of Lanka, they are running everywhere. And they're asking, what kind of monkey is that? Is that a sign? And Ravana remembered in his mind what had happened that day. शक्तिमान लग लक्ष्मण के और शेष की कुछ पल जीवन के। जब शक्तिमान लग लक्ष्मण के और शेष की कुछ पल जीवन के, लाते संग जीवन उलते प्राण बचाने वाले राम के भक्त निराले। Bajrang Bali. सीता जी ने मणिमाला दी, हरदान कपूर दिक बिकरारी। सीता जी ने मणिमाला दी, हरदान कपूर दिक बिकरारी। निज हृदय चीर कर सीता राम बिकाने वाले, राम के भक्त निराले। राम सिया राम जय राम सिया राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम, राम सिया राम जय जय। राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम, 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 राम सिया राम। बजरंगबली की। Mahavir Swami, for a moment, he set ablaze the entire city of Lanka. Rakshasas are running for their lives. They're asking what doom has come to Lanka, the most beautiful city. Ravana goes in a corner, and for this first moment, he starts to shake from inside. Ravana remembers something. One day, Ravana had gone to Kailash Parvat, and in front of the gateway to Kailash Parvat, Nandi was standing there. And Nandi stopped Ravana, and Nandi say, "Hey, you can't enter here. Prabhu Shiv Shankar Bholenath is meditating." Ravana say, "Why you behave like a foolish monkey? Go from here." He says, "Hey, don't disrespect me like that. I am Nandi the bull. You know what? I want you to mark my words. One day a foolish monkey will be the beginning of your end." That day Ravana is thinking, and when he sees his entire city ablaze, he remembers the words of Nandi. Mahavir Swami, he then jumps on top of one of the pillars and he looks at the entire city ablaze, and there he calms down himself and he says, "Jai Shri Ram." He sees the ocean, and when he sees the ocean, he decides now to make a leap straight down into the ocean so that he can then dry himself. Not for a moment was he burnt. He tried to dry himself. He was given a boon that Agni Duta would not burn him. And when he dried himself, he's about to leave, but a second thought comes to mind. I hope Sita Mata, she's okay. I hope I didn't destroy Sita Devi in this blaze, because what will I tell the Lord? So before he makes his trip, he then goes back into Lanka. He finds his way through and he goes to the Vatika. Sita Mata, she's sitting there and she has bent her head. And while she's bent her head, she's only, my dear friends, concentrating on Sri Ram. The smoke has covered the entire atmosphere. The place is burnt. There's flames everywhere. There's flames behind the Vatika. She's feeling the heat and she simply consoles herself. And there she feels trembling like an earthquake. She feels the footprint that just drops on the ground. And as soon as it drops and she shakes, the whole state of Lanka shakes. Hanumanji lands in front of her and he holds his mukdar. He says, "Ma, are you okay, Maya? Sab theek hai?" And your mother looks at him. She says, "Oh, I was worried that something was wrong with you, Mahavir." He says, "Ma, fear not. Your devotee, your son, your bhakta, the divine Lord, Bajrangabali, your child has showed the world today his strength. And I want you to hold on to your faith, Ma, because I'm taking leave now. But mark my words, I will return with the army. I will return with Sri Ram. I will return with Lakshmana, and we will set you free. Ma, today you've seen my strength, and the world will remember me for who I am." Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Mahavir Swami, he prostrated to the feet of the mother, and there he says, Ma, I will see you soon. He turns around and he holds his gada and he's about to make his leap. And as he jumps in the air, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. And it is said with the speed of the wind, he glides on with his father Pawandev. And he says, Pitaji, it is time to take me to my Lord. I have found Devi Mata. I found Sita Devi, and in mid-air, when he looks back, he could see smoke and he could see ashes. And he says, my Lord will recognize that when Bajrangabali steps foot, then you surrender to the feet of the Lord. Prabhu Ramachandra ki, Bajrangabali ki. As Mahavir Swami, he travels now to go back to Sri Ramachandra. Tomorrow night, we will see what happens. We end our beautiful message tonight